What's going on, everybody? I'm the Entertainist, and welcome back to my Christmas countdown. So we're in the Home Alone theme, and we did Home Alone 1. Now we're going to talk about Home Alone, the Holiday Heist. I'm just kidding. I'm going to talk about a Home Alone sequel worth talking about and worth watching. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Yeah, no, Home Alone, the Holiday Heist exists. You'd think that they would just stop. I don't even know why they think that'd be money grabbing. No one was going to see that. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is directed by Chris Columbus once again, stars Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister, Joe Pesci, and Daniel Stern as the Wet Bandits. Everyone is back in it, and to be honest, it is pretty much the same movie, just with a little spin. He's in New York this time. Honestly, this could have been a really bad movie, and despite the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, I actually find it quite enjoyable, the sequel that it is. I think it's everything you love in the first one, dialed up even more. And it just has a lot more goofiness to it. It definitely is a lot more cartoony than the first one and a little less believable. But to be honest, with everyone's performances and the writing, I think it's actually outstanding. One of my favorite sequels, a great Christmas movie. They still keep that Christmas feel. That honestly did not fade away as much as you probably thought it could have when this was released. So for those of you who haven't seen this, the reason why he's home alone again, even though he's not home alone, he's in New York alone. They finally get to go on vacation, and they don't forget Kevin. Kevin's able to go with. When they go to the airport, though, Kevin is trying to change batteries in his camera, and then notices a guy who's wearing the same coat as his father, and he follows him on the plane to New York while everyone else goes on the plane to Florida. Yeah, it's a little silly, but, that's how the movie has to happen. So then Kevin gets to New York and has all of his father's stuff, all of his money, his credit cards, and that's how he's able to get into a hotel. And Tim Curry plays the hotel concierge, and he's actually very funny in it. They're like another set of bad guys. Well, not really bad guys, just people that, are up to Kevin's mischief ways. And then Harry and Marv bust out of prison and get on a fish truck that ends up going to New York, coincidentally, where Kevin's at, so the movie could happen. But honestly, it's such a great dynamic with the Wet Bandits versus Kevin. It's hilarious, just how they interact with each other. I mean, it literally is the same movie, same formula. He has to go defeat the robbers at the end and then find the family, and they live happily ever after. Probably. Maybe not. I don't know. You probably thought that in the first one, and then the second one came out. What I mean by cartoony is that when, for instance, when Marv gets electrocuted and turns into a skeleton, honestly, as a kid, that kind of freaked me out, even though, it's not the scariest thing. I've seen scarier shit when I was a kid, in kid movies, but that was just a little creepy. Harry and Marv are, as much shit as they took in the first one, they dial it up to fucking 20 in this. And it's like, you should be dead by now. Marv is being impaled with bricks to the face from 50 stories up, 4 times. They're both falling 20 stories. A lot of collateral damage is going on with these two. And it's like, well, what does it take for these guys to die? They probably don't. Honestly, I know a lot of the things I'm saying right now are negative, but it's actually stuff that I love about the movie. It's just it works. It works because just the way the movie's written, and you got the cast and crew back, and they're all putting their A game into this movie again, and I don't know, it just works. It really does. I don't love it as much as the first one. I really don't. Just because even though they take everything from the first one and dial up to 11, there's not that heart and soul that the first one has, I think. This one is a lot more comedic. Obviously, the first one's a comedy too, but the first one is about, it is a Christmas family movie that has a message to, love your family, love your loved ones. This one has that too, but the reason why it dies down, this is a negative I have, is that you would think that they'd all learn their lesson. Kevin needs to respect his family, and his family needs to respect him. That totally dies in the beginning of this movie. Everyone treats Kevin like shit again, and Kevin's like, I don't like any of you guys. And I'm like, okay, well, we didn't learn anything from the first movie. That's the only thing. But yeah, then they couldn't make a sequel. So there is some lazy writing here and there, but they do a lot of new things. They take, like I said, they take everything you love and they kind of add a little spin on it. They do the whole Angels, Demons with Angel Wings, or whatever that movie. I can never remember the name of that movie. The movie within the movie. They do a sequel to that movie, and they pull the same thing where, like in the first one, he tricks the pizza guy and he tricks Marv into thinking that they're real people in his house. Whereas in this one, he tricks the hotel staff and then they leave him alone. So it's all funny. It all still works. Honestly, for as much as I hate rehashing jokes, they make it work. I really think they do. I really enjoy this movie. I do like watching it back to back with Home Alone every December. It is one of my favorite sequels, although, yeah, there is some laziness to it as far as like kind of saying, well, fuck what we learned about the first one, like the lesson we're supposed to learn. And yeah, that's, I mean, pretty much it. I'm going to give Home Alone 2 Lost in New York a 4 out of 5 stars. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're about to head into the final week of the Christmas countdown. I've had a great time doing this, spending the holiday season with you guys talking about these Christmas movies. I can't wait to do it again next year. I know I knocked out a lot of top tier Christmas movies, so next year I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do. There are still some big Christmas movies to talk about, but I mean, talked about a lot of big ones. And I can't wait to talk about what next week's going to be and what that theme's going to be. We're in the Christmas week now.
We're in the end game now.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.